First
How are
time
you?
we do a stream, a break, and another stream. But hey, spur of the moment. It's fun. More fun that way.
It very much is. That way, it's not as tightly scheduled for us, and we enjoy doing it, and we enjoy seeing you guys.
And we also
So,
get to advance the plot in
yeah.
this game a bit more.
Exactly, and that way we can also go to further games in the future.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's speed it up. We're already on night 5.
All right, let's go.
So, introducing your co-hosts, QuasarNova and Phantom Revan. Of course, my name is Phantom Revan, and this is the person is QuasarNova, right? Isn't that right? I got it right this time, right?
Just Revan.
Oh wait, no, I was saying you're. Never mind. You didn't get the joke. /whoosh.
I just whooshed
3 times today.
Yeah.
3 times today.
I've been out of it. Must be the heat.
What happened in our earlier today's stream? I have apparently amnesia, and so I have forgotten completely. If you could give me a quick rundown.
Okay, cool. Baron Callahan, one of the Anarch Barons, is dead. We don't know if he's murdered or if he died naturally. And the Camarilla nominate the La Sombra representative, our main character Julia, to investigate the murder, because, hey, she was an investigative journalist, so that automatically makes her a good forensic detective, supposedly. But it's very obvious they're doing this as a formality, and they're throwing the lead, like, just somebody, a noob at the job, just as a formality and stuff. But Julia's taking this responsibility pretty seriously, and as she's investigating, she meets... Go ahead.
It's also because of the fact that she is the La Sombra. Like, she's kind of a throwaway. They can get rid of her. She's not completely associated with the Ivory Tower, which is the Camarilla head. So she can just be kind of cast away if she becomes useless.
Yep. And
or
she's basically like a glorified janitor, just cleaning up
basically.
Shit. So
I mean, she's basically Kadir's underling, and we know that he's a literal janitor for the Camarilla.
Although Goddard actually has prestige and, respect.
And
stuff. She doesn't
does. But,
have that.
I mean, she doesn't have that because she's La Sombra, and they're not even meant to be here.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, not because she's La Sombra, it's just she's new, and, her clan, a little bit of both. She's La Sombra, they're new, and also, like, they're a new clan added to the Camarilla, and also she's a noob. So,
exactly.
Yeah. And during the investigation, she meets Mia, an Anarch character from the former game Coteries of New York. And while investigating, she sees a ghost. Mia. She sees a ghost, and that's the first time we see the La Sombra ability to see ghosts come into play. And
are ghosts going to be speaking, or are they just going to hover like we saw the last one?
Sometimes they're going to be hover, sometimes they're going to be speaking in, like, little words here and there. And then Julia makes a decision, and we get our first trait. And one of the traits that Julia has, and these traits will determine the ending that we get. Currently, the trait we have is loyal only to myself. So with that said, let us continue.
Cool. Who's the narrator this time?
I'll be the narrator.
Sounds
and we'll sometimes in the situation we'll switch back and forth depending on, let's say, a new, like, more male characters come, more female characters. It's going to be like a play it by ear type situation. First thing I need to do, meet up with Qadir tonight and report to him. I hope he knows how to guide me out of this mess. He should have time for me in an hour or 2. In the meantime, I suppose it's time to find some... What's the most dehumanizing word I could use here? Nourishment. Qadir told me I need to quench my hunger less often if I didn't smoke. It kills you, he said, but to start killing itself, your organism must pretend it's alive. And that uses up precious vitae, which is, vampire blood.
Yeah.
But I love cigarettes, the way they smell, the way they burn, the hot ash falling from the top, the sound of the lighter. So it's very clear Julia was a chain smoker when she was a kid.
I mean, she literally in her canonic picture in the
she's smoking
both in. Yeah, she's always with a cigar in her hand, and she even mentioned last time my last cigar.
Her. Being an investigative journalist who gets paid like piss poor pennies. Like, you need some way to deal with the stress, so.
True. Yeah, it's a way. I don't support smoking, but if it helps some people, it helps some people.
Yep. The way they kill you, of course. And I guess I need some tactile connection. Is it tactile or tactile?
It's tactile.
Okay. I've heard some people say tactile, so I wasn't sure. But okay.
Tactile makes no sense. Like, I've never heard that term.
I've heard, I don't know. English is weird. And I guess I need some tactile...
So far we've been realizing that with VTM our English game is either improving or completely bad.
Or we might or we might speak different dialects, different regions of English, which is also possible. Like tomato.
That's very true. Yeah, we are on opposite sides of the world. That makes a lot of sense.
True. And I guess I need some tactile connection to who I was back when I was alive. Okay, New York City, guide my steps. Show me which one of your children I should drink up tonight. Alright, questy time. So this one's called Diva's Delight. Diva's Delight, a fitting name for a piss addict audacious enough to openly pitch her unique taste to those in the know. I'm not in a clubbing mood, but since I need to feed, might as well give it a rumor shot. You recognize this portrait? This is that girl from the first VTM game when Lila went with
the one
Sophie.
Who really likes getting.
She's addicted. She's a ghoul, and she loves, or not a ghoul, but she loves a blood doll. A blood doll is a person who loves getting fed on because they like that pleasure.
See, I was gonna say she likes getting sucked on, but that sounds very messed up. So
the proper term is blood doll. So yeah.
All right.
Then we have
weird blood doll.
We have a slap on the wrist. Samira is asking me to meet her. If not for the ongoing celebrations, the patrician would prove an odd choice for a secret rendezvous. You're just hoping she can provide some useful insight into the case. So first one, you're basically feeding on that girl. Second one, you're going to meet up with Samira. Maybe you could get some information. Third one, Bunny as a reporter. You recognize this guy? Remember Hope? Hope had us collect the USB, the shady journalist.
Yeah,
not the
guy who
one.
Gave us that RH plus bud.
Yes, that's him. The note left at my old dead drop point reads, "Bunny as a reporter. Shit, could it be Woods? Long time no see. What does one do when the ghost of Christmas past knocks on her door?" So you finally know this guy's name. His name is Woods. So you get to meet up with him, and it's now you know he's a reporter. And Julia used to be a reporter, so it's implied they have a connection. Or you can meet up with Samira. Or you could get a sip of everybody's favorite blood doll. So,
at the moment, I don't think I require nourishment, so to speak. So I'm going to exclude that. I think I don't want to face my past at the moment because I've been dealing with it this whole time.
So we're gonna go with Samira.
I want to go, Samira. Okay. Exactly.
Cool.
You read my mind after my deduction.
I'll take it over here. A clean-cut staff member. Actually, no, it's a male, so you should take it over. Yeah.
Oh, is it? But I mean, wasn't I going to meet Samira?
Until she arrives.
Okay, sounds good. A clean-cut staff... Oh, wait. I have to do it in her voice. A clean-cut staff member dressed in an impeccable company uniform smiles at me as the elevator door opens.
Good evening, ma'am. Meeting someone?
I dismiss his question with an apathetic shrug. He sizes me up for a brief moment, visibly questioning my fashion sense. However, his professional acumen quickly trumps his discontent.
Very well. This way, please.
NYC's nouveau riche seem awfully starving for a gourmet soup at this late at night. The patrician is packed almost to the brim. That's the place? That's the name of the place?
The restaurant.
Cool. The concierge points me over to the last Vatican. Vatican. Oh God.
The Pope's
the
here.
The Pope is gonna meet me.
You see the Pope's just because you're Catholic. Vatican.
Oh no. The concierge points me over to the last vacant table, conveniently situated in the far off corner off the main hall. I nestle in the chair, letting my elbows rest on the ornate tablecloth. Watch out, oblivious white collars. There's a black widow near miss. Oh wait, she's saying that to other people. Okay, I see. I said that completely wrong. Well, I'm here. Might as well just kick back and die of boredom. Yeah. I really, really need something to occupy my mind. No, wait. What do you mean by figure out how Samira asked you to come? I'm just
You're basically gonna Samira hasn't arrived yet, so you're basically gonna internally monologue in your head, like, why did Samira call me here? What could it be?
No, I'm gonna look and examine the place. Perception check, please.
You're gonna have a smoke?
I'm gonna have a perception check.
Are you gonna have a smoke?
Yes, sir. I will. Gosh. The pretentious Revan, anyways, pretentious atmosphere gradually begins to creep under my skin, straining my mind and dulling my awareness. I take a peek into my trusty medicine pack. 2 cancer sticks left. I casually light one, paying no mind to the scornful looks of the nearby patrons. The aura enveloping this place is suffocating. Everyone here seems so incredibly toffee-nosed, as if they were designed for greatness by sheer virtue of their... As they were destined for greatness by sheer virtue of their birth. The airs and graces everywhere you look, an adorned hamster cage where everyone is trying to either suck to their betters or get their asses kissed by an overeager underlings. The fact that I find this so pathetic is probably part of the reason why I never amounted to anything. C'est la vie. As I take another whiff, I notice a well-groomed staff member, the manager I guess, gazing at me from behind his horn rims. He's competent enough to keep up appearances, but I can tell he's on a warpath. Eyeball him until he yields. Intimidate. There's something about this guy that rubs me the wrong way. I nonchalantly exhale clouds of smoke and return his menacing look. He just turns his back on me as if nothing happened. As I continue to scan my surroundings, I notice the concierge answering the phone call and frantically jotting down a note. Good. Get back to work, buddy. Just as the thought of leaving crosses my mind, he glances at me briefly before hanging up. The concierge quickly closes in on me, dancing habitually between the tables, and addresses me before I can even utter a single word.
Excuse me, ma'am. Are you Miss Sawinski, by chance?
As soon as I nod, he hands me a carefully folded memo and leaves. For how quickly he scribbled it down, the note is impeccably calligraphied. It reads... Should I read this in a male or female voice? Should I know? Or...
We don't know who read this note yet, so just read it in normal Julia's voice.
The manager of this establishment insulted the Camarilla's authority with his negligence. Even though it's minor, his transgressions must be penalized. I would like you to assist me in this manner. Such a display of goodwill on your part would surely improve your standing with the higher-ups. Choose an appropriate, non-lethal punishment.
Now you know who it's from.
Non-lethal. Okay, so I have to punish this guy.
Yeah, non-lethally.
Non-lethally. So I get to kill him, right? Well, this is disappointing.
Well, you can. You can, but it might backfire on you.
It was a very rhetorical question.
Uh-huh.
Hey, I'm not a murder hobo, okay? Well,
I don't know about that
this is disappointing. Well, this is disappointing. It was a high order to expect any help with the investigation. With the investigation, I guess. Instead, just another chore. The best I can hope for is that this really is just a friendly request and not a deliberate attempt to derail my work this early in the game. Ugh, damn it. Might as well get it done since I'm already here, so I can move on with more pressing stuff. I swiftly approach the manager and tap him on the shoulder. He furrows his brow as soon as he notices me.
I'm afraid I'm busy. One of the waiting staff should be able to...
We have something to discuss. The VIP lounge, now, if you please. His face loses color. Maybe it has dawned on him that I'm even paler than the other, more blue-blooded guests. He immediately becomes compliant as I escort him through the side door. The room isn't empty, but its guests are just leaving. Nobody pays me any attention. The manager is as polite as he can be as he sees the patrons out, but I can see that he's clearly losing his shit. He quietly asks one of the staff to give him 5 minutes in the lounge, and gingerly closes the door behind him. Then the pleading starts.
Listen, I know I screwed up. I shouldn't have let him in. How could I know he's not one of the proper clients?
I don't give a... Listen. Hey!
I would never... I implore you, I have children, for Christ's sake. There must be something, an arrangement, a way to...
He just goes off as if I'm not even here. With each subsequent whimper, he becomes more and more irritating. Explain. Just shut up for a goddamn second. My outburst finally makes him hold his tongue. I light up the last cigarette in the pack, the last cig in the pack, and take a slow puff, trying to compose myself. I have no use for your explanations and justifications. I don't know what sort of transgression you've committed.
I should never have let this Sansariq guy in.
And truth be told, I don't give a shit.
It will never happen again, I swear on my mother's grave, just...
I'm not that good judge of a character, but him pleading with his arms out really makes him look like a biblical wayward son, swearing to change his ways. Brand him. What does that mean? Wait, what does that mean?
What does branding mean?
Like literally, like put some fire.
You burn.
Thing?
Yes, you're gonna burn something into him, onto his skin.
What does lash out mean?
You yell at him. You like go off on him. Like you're just gonna just yell at him, like berate him. Yeah. Basically, make him like piss his pants. Not literally, but like you basically. So there's 3 ways of reprimand. The note said reprimand him. You could let him off with a strict warning, so you're not like physically harming him. The third one, you're verbally abusing him. The first one, you're physically abusing him. The second one, you're not abusing him. You're just scaring him, saying, "Hey, I'm just gonna let you off. Never do this shit again."
What did Samira's letter say again? Can I reread that?
It said, "Punish him however you see fit, non-lethally." All 3 of those are non-lethally, and it just said. But what?
She also said that. Okay, wait. So.
Even though it's minor, he did a minor transgression, but it has to be punished. And if you do the punishing, this is going to look good for the higher-ups, basically, improve your standing. And it just says choose an appropriate non-lethal punishment. So basically, the guy is pleading.
I don't want to...
So the guy is pleading. It's obvious he knows he's fucked up. So it's up to you. You can physically harm him. All 3 are non-lethal. You can physically harm him, permanently burn a scar into him. You could just let him off with a warning, like scare him, be like, never do this shit again. Or the third one, you just like scare him, you lash out, whatever. So which one?
I'm gonna lash out. Because telling him off with a warning is too easy. Branding him, I think, is way too harsh for this minor of a thing. I could just let him be. But then I remember the way he scolded me a few moments ago. He scowled at me a few moments ago, like I was a disgusting cockroach invading his neatly adorned dollhouse. I grab him by the back of his neck and smash it down onto the bar, then throw him on the small but stout coffee table nearby. I take out a soup ladle from the fancy kettle. It was served in, and just smack the guy around for a bit. All he can do is, after a while, is whimper softly. That's talking to him? I thought you said there was no physical punishment in that. Oh gosh.
I
beat this guy up.
You beat this guy up. At least you didn't burn a brand into him. Congrats.
That's true. If there was ever a good time to say, job's done, it's now. I take off. I was probably too hard on him. Korean warned me that something in our bloodline finds sniveling weaklings detestable. Combined with his previous attitude, that could have been what triggered me. But there's a conundrum for another occasion. Sorry, but that's a conundrum for another occasion. I did what I was asked, and I'm sure as hell wasted enough time here. I should move on. Oh, cool. That was just half the night? Thank God. Alright, let's go. I still haven't used my powers. I can go talk to that girl anytime, right? The Diva's Delight girl?
Nope, these quests some of these I think might disappear after the night.
Shit.
I forget.
Okay. Fitting the name of the... Let me just read this again. A fitting name for the Kiss Addict.
You're gonna go to the club, and you get a chance to talk to her, feed off of her. This, you meet that shady reporter dude who seems like a contact of yours.
Let's go talk to the shady reporter dude. Yeah, let's be fun. I don't want to just feed and that's my life. No, I want to meet shady dudes. Not in real life. Please don't DM me. Thank you. Honestly.
Oh boy.
Okay, that was a joke. Okay, I'm sorry. Is this me?
Yes.
Yeah, right? Because you're gonna talk to a guy. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Honestly, sweeping through the Evergreen Cemetery in search of Nigel Woods was the last thing I expected to be doing tonight. And yet, here I am. The past refuses to let me out of its grip, even for a few days. Hell, a black limo almost ran me over on my way here. Why can't I just catch a break? I can't just get a break, can I?
Black limo. Interesting.
I wonder who that is, Kaiser. It takes me less than a minute to find Nigel. He's standing next to the gravestone of John Bunny, one of the most famous actors of the 1910s. Why there exactly? Well, the man is paranoid, which is why we were forced to come up with such an unpredictable method of choosing rendezvous points. It has to be ambiguous enough to seem incidental to a casual onlooker, but reasonably uncomplicated so that this dumbass couldn't mess it up. So we decided on silent film actors. Whenever he wanted to meet, he left me a note with an obscure movie title. Then I had to only look up who starred in it and make my way to their final resting place. Yeah, maybe it feels somewhat goofy and unnecessary, but it's also been fun, and ridiculing Woods for his paranoia would be a classic case of the pot calling the kettle black. There he is, idling away his time on his smartphone, rapidly swiping left with noticeably increasing frustration. Too many girls who actually know what they want from life in a row, Nigel? Wait, what? The heck? What kind of a line was that?
She's at okay. Let me read it. Too many girls who actually know what they want from life in a row, Nigel? Basically, mentally, to herself, she's asking out loud, asking to Nigel, are you frustrated because there's too many girls that aren't matching with you because they actually know what they want in life in a row?
Oh, shit. That's so savage.
Yeah, so she's thinking this to herself.
Can't catch a date. He can't catch a date. Oh.
Yep.
Don't worry, I'm definitely not that type. When he sees me, he reacts as if he's just seen a ghost. A regular comedian. The man halts a few feet away from me and crosses his arms, giving me a dirty look.
What the hell are you up to these days, Sowinski? You busy for your old pal? You never write, never call.
He puts on this completely unconvincing frown, but quickly loses it, bursting into sincere laughter.
Shit, Jules, not gonna lie, it's good to see you. Looking good, gal. I mean, you're still all doom and gloom, and even paler than usual, but I always had a soft spot for your bony ass. Come here, give your uncle a hug.
So creepy. That's so creepy. Give him the look. Please give him the look. He needs that look. I worked with Nigel long enough for us to settle on some basic non-verbal signals for improved communication, by which I mean signaling him to get his shit together. I'm surprised to find that it's still an instinctual thing, as if my mortal body adapted to it so well in the past that it reacts the same way even now that it's dead.
Alright, I get it. And to think we used to...
Cut to the chase, Woods. This wasn't a social invitation, and I only have so much patience for your innuendos. What do you want?
Still quick to get right to the point, huh? Very well. I've been trying to put together a piece on some particularly unseemly business in the deep web. One of my plugs pointed me in the direction of Double Spiral, saying that...
Ooh. Double Spiral. Am I even surprised that name keeps coming up again and again? It still kind of haunts me. Of course, I made sure it would. I still kept tabs on Montgomery from time to time, constantly reveling in those 16 months I slaved... Reliving those 16 months I slaved away for nothing. Give me like 2 seconds.
Sure. While we wait for her to come back. Oh, you're back.
Oh.
I was gonna.
You should have done that immediately as soon as I left.
I went to turn off my fan.
Yeah, no problem. Something went in my throat, and it hurts, yikes. and it's like a scratchy feeling. And I drank water, but I still feel like I have to like cough it out. You know.
I feel you.
That's why I was kind of like muted for a sec.
Is it better now?
Slightly. Can you hear me? Okay, cool.
I can hear you, yeah.
Yeah. Alright. It might have been just another part of Karen's hazing ritual, but I have a feeling that even if it wasn't the case, Brian would still be told to kill a story.
Some dirt on this internet whiz goes by the name of Hope. She supposedly has had some close dealings with the Montgomery clan. Ever heard of her?
Not an expert on the concept. I can't say I'm familiar with that person in question either. I'm lying, of course, feigning apathy. The name strikes a chord, but being one of the 4 jotted down on Callahan's list. Coincidence? Father insisted I shouldn't believe in these.
As far as I can tell, she's mostly involved in some hinky porno stuff involving scopophilia, body maiming, lots of blood. Shit's borderline occult.
Holy.
My cover's blown, though. Think someone's after me. Still, got a few useful leads, which I'd happily exchange for some Benjamins before I go AWOL. Interested?
Knowing him, those few leads are completely worthless. But with his luck, he really might have strayed into dangerous waters. What's useless to him might prove useful to me. If I play along, he won't even know I'm no longer in this line of work. Did you expect me to buy your intel sight unseen? No dice, Nigel. Break it down for me. I won't screw you over. You know me better than that. He sighs audibly, sizing me up and down. After a brief moment, he raises his voice again.
What do you want to know?
Everything. Whatever your porn-addicted ass considers to be of value. Nigel closes his eyes, pondering where to begin.
Now, this might sound complicated, so I can send you some helpful YouTube videos later, but here we go.
For the next few minutes, Nigel explains his findings while desperately trying, and mostly failing, to make them sound like something more than dumb urban legends. Among the many threads, he mentions blood trafficking, secret turf wars, a coven of Masonic lodge types, the biblical flood, the biblical flood, and the businessman consorting with the devil, in search of immortality. To common ears, all of this would probably sound like some Basel conspiracy theory, but from what I can gather, he's flying dangerously close to the sun. At the moment, he doesn't know jack shit and has no proof of anything, meaning he doesn't pose any real danger to the Masquerade. But his conviction in following every possible lead was what made me work with him in the first place. God damn it. I'm not sure I can just let him go. You know, Nigel, I actually watched our friend John Bunny here portray a character in one of his silent pictures.
A reporter.
Oh, portray a reporter in one of his silent pictures. In the film, he disguised himself as a woman and infiltrated a secret suffrage meeting. Of course, he fucked it all up and got chased up a tree by angry axe-wielding liberationists. This kind of journalism makes infinitely more sense than the bullshit you're spouting right now. Sorry.
I know how it sounds, Jules, but I have this itch in the back of my head telling me there's more to it than it seems. And you know my sixth sense hardly ever fails me.
I think it's horseshit, and I'll leave it at that. So what about the Hope girl? Got something worth pursuing?
Maybe. She's an enigma. Total fucking mystery. The only thing I'm certain of is that she exists and enjoys streaming for an exclusive audience. Supposedly she's into cryptocurrencies. You know, those Bitcoin things. I can never make any sense of it. It's a scramble, I know. but I promise you that somewhere within lies a juicy story for someone like you to pursue. Hell, I have a hunch that if we join forces, we might really hit it big this time. Thoughts?
This poor idiot. This intel of his sounds like a cheap pulp novel. No one in their right mind is going to pay a dime for it. It'll ruin his credibility if he has any.
If he still has any.
If he still has any. Whoops. If he persists in spreading this bullshit, it'll probably completely neuter his ability to harm us, eventually. But if the Ivory Tower gets wind of his activities, Quasar is going to get involved. He's going to ask questions, and the answers will get both me and Nigel in trouble.
You're awfully quiet, Jules. Speak up. You're creeping me out.
What does rewrite his memories mean?
You dominate him, and you change his memories. He basically won't have any
change his memories to what?
I'm not gonna tell you that.
Advise him to escape sounds like a bad idea, because he sounds like he'll still pursue it. If I advise him to escape, he'll also think that I have something to do with it. So I'm just gonna dominate him. Let's do that. I'm sorry, Nigel. This is just a bit, but still.
What?
He freezes in place as I gaze into his eyes. There is no blood trafficking or secret turf wars going on in New York City. You have nothing on Diablo Spiral, and there is no hope. You've made it all up. The idea that you have instead is a non-fiction book about toxic masculinity. You're going to do your research, and you're going to pitch the book to everyone as a real expert on the subject. He stands there completely perplexed, suppressing layers of rewritten memories. With his mouth wide open, stuck in a bizarre pose, he looks like a total goofball. I can't help but snort. John Bunny wouldn't compare, especially if our guy really follows his programming and a comedy of error ensues. He's going to recover in a couple minutes, but I'm not sticking around. The trick has taken its toll on me. I can only keep my fingers crossed that it sticks. Best to bury the memory of this meeting along with the rest of my past. Alright, it's about time I head to see Quasar. Mighty kind of him to arrange a meeting in the place that's most convenient for me.
D'Angelo, Hope, Tamika, Agathon. I suppose that's better than nothing, but no evidence? Really?
Honestly, it felt as if someone had already cleaned up the most egregious. Yeah, that's the word. I just screwed up. Honestly, it felt as if someone had already cleaned up the most egregious stuff before I arrived.
Sounds like the Anarchs.
I'll definitely try and check that place again, but I feel I need some sort of expert to accompany me. An advanced investigator who would show me the ropes. Someone tall and handsome, maybe?
Yeah, if you don't mind a diplomatic incident, I'll go with you.
Any better ideas?
Actually, this very note gave me one, but I will need to set it up first. I will get back to you about that.
You know these people?
I've had passing contact with each of them. Part and parcel of the job, you know.
I suppose. Can you help me out with this?
The way I tackle it would be, look at one person on the list every night, ask around about them, and see what they know if you do manage to meet them.
If I manage to meet them. If I manage to meet them?
They're not particularly easy to get a hold of. Always prefer to be a little off the grid, but nowadays, they're all practically in hiding, if not MIA, or dead.
Funny coincidence.
It is not my job to speculate.
In other words, he knows something, but is not at liberty to say. I guess I'll find out anyway, if I do meet them. And why one night each? Shouldn't I investigate every loose thread until we're satisfied?
In a perfect world, you'd have all the time you needed, but this is not a perfect world. They'll try to brute force a solution to the case as soon as possible. I suspect that, 4 nights from now, once the celebrations of power are over, they'll ask for your findings, and that'll be all.
Fucked up.
To be brutally honest, my focus wouldn't be on solving the murder. Instead, I'd focus on not embarrassing yourself.
Fucked up.
This is part of why I didn't want you to get involved. You couldn't possibly think Arturo had you involved out of the goodness of his heart. The entirety of your investigation is just for show. You were meant to be an unwitting actor.
Maybe I really should just call Mia and be like, you know what the fuck, these condescending ivory tower clowns? I want to work with you.
You know what? Fuck these condescending.
Oh, sorry. Whoops, I didn't see that comma. Maybe I should really just call Mia and be like, you know what? Fuck these condescending ivory tower clowns. I just want to work with you. But then again, if I was with the Anarchs, they'd probably delegate even shittier tasks to me. If, and that's a really big if, they didn't think I was some kind of inside agent in the first place. Better stick to Camarilla, but if they are hell-bent on stabbing me in the back at every opportunity, maybe it's time to think about how I can repay the favor. Play dirty, no matter what Goddard thinks of it. After all, from where I'm standing now, there's no way up. There's no way but up.
There's no other way but up.
There's no other way but up.
A penny for your thoughts.
I take a drag from my cigarette. I'm pissed off. Let's be honest. Thoughts, schmutz. I'm angry. What do you expect?
Something different from the norm, I suppose.
My anger levels are above the norm, I suppose.
It's a nasty situation, but not one without a possible good ending in sight. So I hope you can channel that anger into something productive.
I can try. Where should I go first?
You should go with me. As it happens, I'm only out here because I was ordered to drive Eiling to the art hole. And guess the name of her protege.
So that's who Agathon is.
Or was. Nobody knows. It's a complicated thing. You'll see. I'm on the clock, so let's get a move on.
Vin Diesel rides again.
If you pick another option,
it
would say fairy godmother or, prince, whatever.
Yeah. No, I like that. Vin Diesel sounds like an awesome thing.
Still not done with this bit?
Not while it's still bothering you.
I'm leaving you behind if you don't keep up.
I love their dynamic.
It's pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. As I already told Eiling,
Oh,
yeah, sorry. Fudge. Is that her voice? Like, as I already told Kader, like that?
Not monotone, cold academic. Think of it as
I already
researcher.
Told Kader the numerous times that I have no idea what happened with Agathon.
I'll read it here. The Broadway Chantry, part of the Chantry of the Five Boroughs, is Eiling's usual hangout place these past few nights. She's in a hurry, and not willing to talk.
Do you have any idea about his connection to Kindred, going by the names of Tamika, D'Angelo, and Hope? I don't. I made it a point to keep our relationship strictly professional and never meddled in his personal affairs. Unless they influenced our work, that is. But it only happened time to time.
One time.
Crap! You know what? I'm gonna read that all again. I'm sorry. I don't. I made it a point to keep our relationship strictly professional one, and never meddled in his personal affairs. Unless they influenced our work, that is. But it only happened one time.
Ah, yes. The infamous Juno case. If you went with Agathon's questline, you would know more about this case, basically.
The Juno case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that Juno. Were there any signs that he's leaving? That Juno. Let's go with that. Could that Juno case be the reason he's missing? I seriously doubt it, for many reasons. I think the boy's lost his appetite for studying blood magic and set out to do a little soul searching. It was quite rude of him not to give me a proper warning before he departed. Still, this line of work is not particularly favored by folks with a perfect grasp of savoir-vivre. I do hope his search will bring him back right where he started, begging me to take him back in. The boy is talented, and I did put a lot of time into mentoring him. If he doesn't, well, que sera, sera. No skin off my back. So you won't even entertain a possibility that he found himself in harm's way?
I know an answer to that one. A researcher's mindset. She doesn't think it's worth considering the worst-case scenario seriously, and just takes things as they come.
Precisely. If, for example, climate change scientists didn't operate this way, most would have put a bullet in their own head a long time ago.
That's a cheery thought.
I'd like to research the chantry for Agathon's work. I'd like to search the chantry for Agathon's whereabouts. Our good sheriff already did that long ago. You'd just be wasting your time, and ours for that matter. Didn't you say Helen was waiting for us, Qadir?
Give the girl 15 minutes, Eiling. A minimal support for an ongoing investigation. And besides, she has a proclivity for finding things everyone else has overlooked. Proclivity for finding things everyone else has overlooked.
10 minutes. If you attempt to pass the store or that one up there, I can't guarantee you'll walk out of here alive. Thank you very much, High Regent. Just get on with it.
My time here is practically up, and I found nothing of use. It seems Agathon was completely dedicated to his work. Even his personal quarters are as barren as it gets. No personal touch whatsoever. Nothing I could go by. It's all research, research, research. He seems like such a bore. Focus, Julia. What would you do if you were a warlock workaholic? A warlockaholic?
A warlockaholic.
Workalockaholic. Where would you leave clues to your whereabouts? What would you do if you found yourself in mortal danger and wanted Dakota to know? Ghost voice, go.
It's loose.
More creepy. These ghosts are terrifying and creepy. Like,
it's loose.
More raspy voice.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Go ahead.
Loose.
Like that. It's meant to be terrifying.
Okay.
These things are terrifying.
It's loose.
There you go. Was that? Yeah. It was facing this way. Huh. I approached the place where I saw the shadowy silhouette appear. It's a brick wall, and one of the bricks is loose. Qadir and Eiling are in another room right now, still discussing the party. It's not that bad. You ought to learn how to find humor in the little things.
It's demeaning, Sheriff. That's all there is to it.
She's still upset about the costume that she had to wear.
Yeah.
It's time. I work the brick loose until I can grip it. Then I tug it as silently as possible, revealing a hole in the wall. Inside, there's a book. I browse through it quickly. Agathon's diary. That's a bingo.
Your 10 minutes are up. So are your 15 minutes, in fact. Are you done here? If I could just get 5 more minutes, I still feel like I could stumble upon something here if I just look a little more.
No way, Julia. Time to go.
Fine.
I put the brick back and take the diary with me. It did look like Agathon left it so that someone in the chantry could find it. Presumably, the High Regent. But my investigation takes priority, for now. I bid Qadir and Eiling adieu, and start looking for a secluded place to read the diary. This place right here should be secluded enough for me to browse through the diary in peace. I start quickly skimming the book, singling out sentences and paragraphs that look interesting, trying to get a general idea of what kind of person Agathon was. Or is, I hope. The more I read, the clearer the image of the person becomes. He's been working under the High Regent for 15 years. There's an underlying shame in the way he talks about Tremere magic. He always describes himself as too slow on the uptake, too late to learn something, too much of an amateur. He was really into tying his self-worth to his wisdom. The entries, beginning in 2012, are terrifyingly regular. The handwriting is extraordinarily neat. The author's absolute dedication to his studies is palpable. If there's anything to his unlife besides work, it's his relationships with the three important women he holds dear. The first is his master, Eileen Sturbridge, whom he reveres for her knowledge, stoicism, and willingness to experiment. I was hoping to find some details about her sensitive work here, but no dice.
Secretive.
I was hoping to find some details about her secretive work here, but no dice. Looks like he was willing to risk someone finding all about his inner life, but not anything that could harm her studies. A good pupil, serving a good mentor. I'm jealous. The second is another warlock, his ex-lover, Juno, whom he feels guilty about. They had a conflict.
I thought that was his sister. You lied to me.
His sister is involved in that quest. Juno is not his sister. I never said Juno was a sister.
My bad. I was so confused.
They had a conflict in which Eileen was involved. Having to choose between the two, he chose Eileen.
Of course.
According to Agathon, there was never real love between him and Juno. First, it was just shared interests, then a growing disconnect, and ultimately, guilt which made him feel responsible for her. But maybe it's just excuses? He strikes me as the kind of person who spends most of his time inside his head. Doesn't sound like someone you could have a fulfilling romance with.
Dakota. Wait, what does that mean? Like,
he's monologuing. This whole conversation is reminding her of
I know.
Okay, so what's the question?
But like, what I'm asking is, by choosing Dakota, does that mean that she thinks that Dakota might be someone who isn't someone you could have?
She's gonna think of. So first option, she's gonna think of Dakota. Second option, she's gonna think about a time in high school. Third option, she's not gonna think about either of these things.
Okay, well, I think Dakota is much more than just, like someone who's not.
You're gonna think about Dakota. You don't know what she's gonna think about exactly. She's gonna think something about Dakota. This whole reading this thing, it's gonna either you want to remember Dakota. You don't know what you're gonna remember, but something, or you're gonna remember a time in high school, a moment in high school, or third, you don't want to think about either of these things.
Remember Dakota because Dakota is awesome.
One day, Dakota might realize this.
Anyway. Sad. That's really sad.
Last but not least, Agathon's mortal grandmother, Sylvia. She is the light of his life, and the person who took care of him after his parents died in a ritual murder. Not quite what I expected. Her family used to serve a cruel vampire in Mexico City, and it was retribution for their escape. She was the lead Tremere used to track him down. Actually? He was keeping her alive for a long time, but a few months ago her heart gave up. Agathon blamed his insufficient skills, the kind of man who carries the entire world on his shoulders. Left alone with Eiling, he drowned himself in work, and eventually burned out. But it doesn't sound like Sylvia's death was the only event that triggered his depression spiral. There was some kind of incident back in 2019. He doesn't cite specifics. Another thing he was worried about writing down? It's all vague mentions of a person who made him fly too close to the sun. Whatever happened, it had the same effect as his grandma's death. New York stopped feeling like a home to him. It became alien, empty, grotesque. His words. I checked the first page. There's a recent photograph of him glued to the inner side of the cover. He's facing away from the camera, only showing his profile, and striking a rather dramatic pose. At first it looks kind of poserish to me. However, upon closer inspection, it seems like a goodbye photo. The final, melancholic glance he throws in your direction, before disappearing for good. There's also a single black feather. No idea what that means. No idea what it
Yeah.
means. Something's written next to the photograph with a lot of flourish. It looks like a poem? More than annoyed. Sad. More than sad. Unhappy. More than unhappy. Suffering. More than suffering. Abandoned. More than abandoned. Alone in the world. More than alone. Exiled. More than exiled. Dead. More than dead. Forgotten.
See, I knew there was going to be another line about
The
more
Sedative,
than dead.
1917, by Marie Laurencin. Looks like he wrote it down recently. It might have resonated with his emotional state over the past few months. Most importantly, it seems to confirm his intent with this diary, to me. The general idea seems to be his research will outlive him, so he doesn't even detail it. Still, he wanted some kind of tangible memory of who he was left for posterity. But that's not all. There's still a mystery to be solved. Quite a few of the pages toward the end are missing, but it doesn't look like they were necessarily removed to redact information. They were torn off in a way that makes it clear the paper wasn't ever used. What's more, the preceding pages are empty as well. Could it be that... That's when it happens again. I notice a bizarre shape in my peripheral vision.
Bleed.
I turn to catch a glimpse as fast as possible, but it's already gone. If my heart could beat faster right now, it would be jumping out of my chest. It's discomforting. I've been seeing these apparitions ever since I turned into... this. The worst part is, I feel like they were always there. Even as a mortal, they were there sometimes in the corner of my eye, disappearing when I tried to look directly at them, making me think it was just my mind playing tricks on me. But when you're part of the Night Clan, there are times they don't disappear. There are times they talk. There are times they try to force you to do their bidding. And worst of all, no, I don't want to think about that right now. Still, in my experience, they aren't exactly, I don't know, consciously malevolent. This one in particular was trying to help? I open the book on the first empty page and look around to make sure nobody is staring. Then, I cut myself using a razor I keep in my pocket just in case. It's not a deep slice, I just want to let a droplet of vitae fill onto the page. That's when the letters appear. So you're going to take over the narration in this little flashback. Cool. Look at me, a clown, no longer confident that any of my people can be trusted. I turn to a spick, a Camarilla spick at that. Reserved contempt. What are you for, boy? Laugh at me. Ridicule is all I Come on, don't stand there like an idiot. You want to say something? Say it.
There's no narration there. What the hell?
This is the last thing I expected to happen. This diary is haunted. A series of quickly changing sentences and images, composed of shadows and blood, give me a window into another reality. It's not an objective view, it's like scattered remnants of emotions, similar to a half-remembered dream, full of holes, but an honest expression of one's mind. Might it be interacting with me? It's just a hypothesis, but I don't know why else it would show me Callahan. And was that Ellis Island?
What?
This time, I did hear it. I got it. Vixen, trying to go to sleep, but this keeps me eyes. Yup, it is exciting. This time, I don't even look in its direction. The voice makes me feel oddly confident about what I need to do. I pick up the feather that was in the diary and dip it in my vitae. Then, I write down...
the word was contempt, right? Something contempt?
What does all of this remind you of? It doesn't have to be... you could write contempt if you want to. It's up to you.
Yeah. What do you mean? What does it remind me of? What do you mean by that?
This past scene, what emotion does it invoke? What emotion does it evoke in you? Compassion?
Contempt.
Confusion or contempt? Okay.
No. Okay, fine. Let's try contempt.
You sold out your ideals long ago, old man. You're a shithead, a coward, a bigot, a failed leader, hated by everyone serving you. Of course, I have nothing but contempt for you. Good. Same honesty. Some honesty. Now we can talk to each other like equals. Go ahead.
It's some Tom Riddle shit, except with your own blood. Yeah,
Yep.
it's really interesting, honestly. Okay. It doesn't feel like this is the way the events took place. It's more like a way to explore Agathon's emotional truth and about the way it'll all unfold. It all unfolded.
Yeah. So basically, you're not actually seeing what happened. You're just reading his emotional state. You're getting pieces and bits of vision, which is why words are obscured.
You're like, when you were asking me about like which word do you want to choose? Oh crap! I didn't realize you were talking. You know, sorry, my connection cut out. You know when you're talking about like which word you want to choose, and I was like contempt. You're just like, you really want to choose that? I was like, yes.
No, I didn't say. I didn't say you really want to. All I said was, you can pick. I was trying to explain what you would pick the word that, like reading through his emotions. What emotions do you feel from Agathon? And you would pick that word.
You completely made me second guess myself. I'm telling you right now.
I am kind of the dungeon master in this little pseudo campaign. So, next.
In any case, the diary is reacting to me, and some shade of truth is better than nothing. It's a handy tool, and if I use it right, I might find some clues that could aid me in my investigation. There are a few thoughts floating around my head, like alien entities trying to make their way out. Is that also an effect of the diary's power? Let's try... Okay, not dream. Death? Let's try death.
Is it fear of death that drove you to contact me? Don't be rich. I've been ready to die since before you even came out of your mama's womb, boy. No, I fear some worse. So when you heard about their plot... Yes, I wasn't afraid it would fail and leave me for final death. I was it would succeed.
God damn it. What are the two of you talking about? Why did you meet? Ellis Island.
Why did you pick this place to meet, anyway? It's secluded, and something in the air here that makes all the blood magic go haywire, which is especially important. Because of me, you're still afraid I might be a part of the experiment? No, of that devil woman. Blood running cold. All of the scribblings disappear. I'll take this part, because the scene has ended. All of the scribblings disappear, and another set starts taking their place. There's gonna be a girl here, so...
Okay.
Yeah, you can. Or actually, I'll do the. You can do the narration here. Go for it.
Sure. The diary conjures an image of a completely different place. I instantly get a feeling of déjà vu. I process the space differently. The atmosphere is different, more familiar, homely. But this is unmistakably the Tremere Chantry I visited earlier tonight. And standing there is just the person I'd expect. Looks like that's it for my meeting with Callahan. God damn it. But what if the person he was talking about and eliciting a strong emotional reaction from was Eiling? The diary awaits my next command. Let's go with...
You gotta sleep, Vixen? Then you should sleep. It's okay. You can see this later on. It'll all be recorded and up.
Yep, and it'll also be on our YouTube because we are putting it all there in a very neat playlist for you to binge watch for whenever you want to.
Yep.
Yeah. Wait, wine? Or
He's trying.
vagina.
When
Oh,
she's
when.
suggesting to go with the when. That's her. That's what
Yeah.
she wants to pick. But it's up to you.
Since Vixen's about to go to sleep, let's do that for her. Let's go with
When?
when.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
High Regent. When?
It shouldn't surprise you that these arrangements were already in back when we started working for me. The proof was proof was all you all the time. You were just not choosing to look at it. Don't act like you aren't complicit, Agathon.
I don't feel comfortable being a part of this at all. I always thought we were busy with science, not politics.
These are the words of a child, Aga. Bzz. Science has always relied on politics, and politics on science.
Not like this, High Regent.
Don't embarrass me, Agathon.
Not like this. The moving scribbling disappear again. I hastily let another drop of blood fall on the page. What appears this time is yet another familiar face. Ah yes, Agathon, what is it that you wanted to tell me?
Go to hell.
Go to hell. I beg your...
The harpy vanishes.
Yeah, right. As if I could ever gather courage to say this to your face. But the least I can do is try and stab you in the back. The diary ends here. Or I'll...
Wait, did
I'll
I
take
fuck up with the last one?
You'll see.
Oh,
The
shit.
diary ends here. I spill a little more vitae on the page, but it no longer works.
Shit, I've fucked up.
I suppose that's it. Still no idea what happened to Agathon. Is he alive, or is he dead?
I'm gonna say he might be dead because wait, hold up. Didn't the other ghost that helped me loosen the brick, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Do you think it was Agathon's ghost, or do you think it might have been a different ghost?
It's not Agathon. They're just random ghosts and spirits.
Oh, okay. Then I'm gonna think he's alive.
I'm
gonna say he's alive.
So, based on everything you've seen, you think he's alive?
I mean,
basically, this decision is basically Julia. She just saw these random emotional memories, and now she's kind of thinking, based on everything I've seen, is he alive, or do I think he's dead? So that's basically what you're picking here.
I know
it's not whether he's actually. You're not going to actually determine if he's actually alive or dead. This is what you personally think. So yeah.
I think he's still alive.
Okay. Maybe Dakota's right. I've been a glass half empty buzzkill too often. I will brace for the worst, but hope for the best. The way he left his diary for someone to carry on his work, the hints he strategically left inside it, he's got this all planned out. No doubt about it. I choose to believe I will see him again one night. Maybe I'll even compliment that jacket he has. You got a new trait. Glass half full. You're optimistic.
Neat.
If you thought that he's dead, you would get glass half empty. You would get the pessimistic.
Yeah.
You would get the pessimistic trait. In any case, I think it's time to pay a visit to the art hole. I know Arturo tends.
So
Vixen she made him disappear, then called you guys to investigate and killed him all along. You don't know that. That's not. Again, these memories. These aren't actual memories. This isn't actually what happened. They're just literal emotions, emotional responses. They're literally scattered. In a way, they're misleading. So yeah, you don't. That's. I would actually say like that's not quite. That's not quite the case. And a sire rarely ever kills. Eiling is Agathon's sire. She would not kill him. Sires it's like a kind of a taboo for a sire to kill their own child.
Should I read this part?
Go for it.
I know Arturo tends to leave the asylum quite often.
Elysium.
I always call it asylum. Oops.
It's not an asylum.
I know Arturo
Elysium.
tends
completely
to
different
leave.
meaning.
All right, fine. I know Arturo tends to leave the
Hi,
Elysium
Bumblebee.
quite often. Hey, Bumblebee! Hello! To take in some fresh air and message people on his BlackBerry, so I just wait until I see him. The tactic works. He's surprised to see me.
Miss Sowinski, shouldn't you be busy with your investigation?
I am, actually, which is why I came to see you.
That's peculiar, because I'm absolutely sure I have nothing to do with this case. Good night, Vixen. Aren't you barking up the wrong tree?
That's what I'm here to find out. I assumed you want... I assumed you'd want to see I'm through.
Thorough.
Fudge, what is wrong with me? Okay, that's what I'm here to find out.
Do you sometimes, because this happens to me sometimes, do you sometimes read the word very quickly in your head and you quickly...
my head goes and completes the sentence.
Take it slowly, take it easy, take it slow, take a deep breath, take it slowly, I think you might be like mentally rushing through it. Just take it slowly, and you got this.
Okay. That's what I'm here to find out. I assumed you'd want to see I'm thorough.
Yes, sure. I suppose it's commendable. What is it, then?
I have reasons to believe that in the last few months, you, the High Regent Eiling Sturbridge, and her child, Agathon, were involved in a secretive scheme. His expression changes ever so imperceptibly, but the difference is so palpable to me. For the first time ever, he looks at me as a person. Up until now, I was just an amusing diversion. Now I'm something more, and he doesn't like it.
What gave you this idea?
I'm not at liberty to say. If you really want to know, ask the sheriff. Of course, Father doesn't know anything, but he's the only one in the court that Arturo has repeatedly failed to influence. He'll think twice before approaching him.
I fail to see how this matter relates to the task at hand.
I have every reason to think Baron Callahan was involved, and that he might have had the grounds to fear for his life because of said scheme. He's tense now. Do I have the upper hand?
Miss Sowinski?
Please answer the question.
The delicate matter you are speaking of has absolutely nothing to do with Baron Callahan's grim fate. It's a strictly confidential affair. It would be wise of you to stop pursuing it.
Beautiful. I can't be an investigator if I'm not allowed to properly investigate.
This matter is unrelated to your work and should be treated as such. I'm 100% convinced Prince Panhard would agree.
Because you're controlling her, you bitch?
Well, you don't. Julia doesn't know that.
I know. I'm just saying.
If you insist on pursuing it further, we can take it up to the prince and see if her stance differs from mine. But I think you aren't as naive as to waste her time this way, and besides... She'd certainly want you to present the basis for your discovery to the court. Could you handle it?
I have no response. God damn it. This is revenge for... This is his revenge for invoking Kadir, isn't it?
I thought so.
Is the High Regent inside?
She is, but don't worry. I'll make sure to tell her not to waste your precious time, Miss Sowinski.
So that's how you're going to play it? You bastard. Well, I guess you win this round. A strategic retreat is my only choice here. I don't have a full deck of cards yet, but just you wait. In a few nights... I'll take my leave then.
Yes, do that. And if I may be so blunt, focus on the investigation avenues that aren't utterly imbecilic and suicidal to pursue, miss. I bid you adieu.
I bid you screw you. I curse him out under my breath, and he disappears inside the art hole. Guess the avenue really is cut off for me, at least for now. 3 names left on the list. I still have some leads to go by, but for now... It's getting late. I should go to St. Patrick's and file my latest report. When I reach the cathedral, Father Leonard is already there. He's
Leonard.
not...
Leonard.
Crap. It's okay, whatever. When I reach the cathedral, Father Leonard... Okay, Leonard just sounds so much nicer than Leonard, just saying. It sounds more sophisticated.
Leonard, because I know friends who have literally their name is Leonard. It's Leonard.
No, I know, but Leonard just sounds like... You know what it reminds me of? You know Community and the old dude in Community named Leonard?
Yeah.
Like super old. That's what it reminds me of.
Well,
Leonard just sounds so sophisticated.
But he's not from Italy. Like Leonardo, like it's Leonard. Like let's say his name correctly.
Fine. When I reach the cathedral, Father Leonard is already there. He's not exactly the most punctual person, so I always feel relieved to see him from afar. Time to move in and move out before I'm noticed by Benoit.
Will this be all?
I guess so. I rattled off most of it in a hurry on the way here. I'll come up with a more exhaustive report tomorrow night.
Busy? Looks that way, Father. Our wayward girl has finally been recognized by her superiors.
Fuck. Here we go again. Of course he had to sneak up on me. If you even heard about
If even you heard about that, I guess that means every single kindred in the 5 boroughs knows. I know you're an expert when it comes to knowing who's saying what and where, but the last time we met, you promised to share that knowledge with me.
Yeah, I was kinda lying.
That's the 9th commandment broken, Father. Shouldn't you scold her? Don't involve me in your silly games, Benoit. The way you fall for obvious lies stems from your biggest failing in communication.
Ouch.
And that is... You only pay attention to the what that's being said, and not the how. That's...
Booyah, fucker. Suck it. Annihilated with absolute flawless diagnosis.
Child, don't make me regret siding with you.
I'm sorry, Father. It won't happen again, especially if you promise to keep verbally destroying that clown.
You're in a strange mood tonight, child. Go get some sleep. Yes, we'll continue this tomorrow.
This guy. I'm not showing up here tomorrow.
Yes, you are. Stop breaking the 9th commandment. See you around, Julia.
He says my name in a sickly sweet way that gives me the creeps. I bow to Father Leonard, do my best to ignore Benoit, and head for Dakota's place.
Finally, my haven.
Hey! Hey. Another tough night? Another tough night? You don't know the half of it. You want a drink?
He points to her neck. I managed to summon a faint smile.
I'd love to, but you know we can't do this too often. Maybe tomorrow. You want to talk then? Yeah, I guess so. Just not about work, okay?
I sit down next to her.
Not about work. Got it. What's on your mind then? The past, I guess. Meaning? How spotty your memories are. And how despite the fact that's what we were built.
How despite
that, that's what we build our convictions on. Sorry, it's so banal. I'm just tired and frustrated. Well, let's talk about something more specific then. What do you remember about the time we first met? The time we first met? Yeah.
Shit. Not a lot, actually. Those were gloomy, anxious days. I think I subconsciously replaced most of them with blank spaces.
I remember you were trying to paint your hair black. Ouch! Don't dig up my trauma now, okay? I remember that when we first talked, we talked about Haosu. Don't say Haosu. It's low-key racist, I think. Nobody ever knows what you meant by house. And nobody ever knows what you mean by house. That's that show with the asshole doctor? No, the Japanese haunted horror house. Let me try that again. Sorry. Nobody ever knows what you mean by house. The show with the asshole doctor? No, the Japanese haunted house horror film that feels like it was written by a 7-year-old with ADHD. That sentence was written by a 7-year-old with ADHD, just saying.
I don't see any problem with it. I think just because you struggled with it.
It's a run-on sentence. I hate run-on sentences.
But it works. Like it's basically meant to drone on a bit.
No, the Japanese haunted horror house. Or haunted... it's such a bunch of H's, whatever.
It's alliterative, and which is why you got into a tongue twister.
It's so...
You struggle with tongue twisters. Your tongue got twisted.
I do not. I actually don't. She sells seashells by the seashore. See, I can do that. It's easy. It's just that
but not
in that
the H's.
Case, the H's were just stupid. I don't know. Anyways.
Okay, you just don't like H's. All right.
I don't like H's. In the best way. Duh. We were arguing which characters from the movie both of us are. You were Kung Fu, and I ended up as Prof, which was rude. You were dressed like a total nerd. It's not my fault. What's the deal with that suit? I like that suit. Yeah, it was okay. I remember helping you out with it, with graphic design. I remember helping you out with graphic design whenever you needed it. Funny. I remember you needing help with writing as something that tended to happen far more often.
Yeah, we developed a fun shared aesthetic with similar surface concerns, and it bonded us together even before we made sure we were fully compatible deep down as human beings. Hell, I'm still not sure we are, especially now, with me not being a human being anymore. But hey, at least we both agree that this bedroom feels super comfy.
It's very tiny, but it is very comfy looking.
Mm-hmm.
I remember always feeling left out of your social circles.
Always knocking at the door from the outside.
Oh, forget it. My social circles were full of out-of-touch, snobby assholes. Yeah, but it felt weird how much they avoided me, and there was that one time with Isabella.
All of a sudden, one thing Isabella said at that one party flashes in my mind with startling clarity. After midnight, in that kitchen, without context, she just walked up to me and... She will isolate you, she will suck you dry, and she will move on to the next target. That's the only thing she knows.
Don't remind me of Isabella. She's always resented me.
It's been so long, and it's all baseless conjecture now, but what if she really did isolate me on purpose back then? Nah, the glass is half full. The past is Schrodinger's cat, and all that. Better to believe in the positive version of events.
Oh,
Come
shit.
to think of it, friend or foe, if you don't believe they're on your side, they will know it one way or the other. And then it's 100% certain they won't be on your side.
Yeah, I'm so glad I chose that option.
Maybe optimism really is the way.
So basically, if I had chosen glass half empty, I would have started to, doubt Dakota, right?
You would be a little bit pessimistic about certain things. Yes, more cynical.
Yeah. I feel like the two options is either you end up with a happy ending with Dakota, possibly, or you end up with, an ending where you end up killing Dakota because you get very, very, suspicious or whatever. I really hope to get the happy ending. I like this relationship. Yeah, forget about Isabella. Let's just drop this talk. I'm frustrated enough. I need a rest.
Reset.
I need a reset. I give me 2 seconds, okay? Sounds like a good idea. Off to sleep? Yeah, I gotta get ready to go back to hell tomorrow. Alright, I'll get back to work. You're working remotely again? Yeah, my office is going insane for so many reasons, and I'm getting cabin fever too. Get some sun. It'll be good for you. Look who's talking! Good night, sunshine. Good night. Rest, rest, rest. Rest, rest, rest.
A few minutes after I wake up, I see a message slip into the apartment's front door. Qadir? Yep. Looks like he's got a short window to meet me in Queens. A few hours from now. Willets Point. Single suggestion. Get ready for action. Fine, then. I will. Best way to do it would be to clear my mind. Just walk without thinking, reset the framework. Some fresh air should do it. Maybe a chance meeting with someone could get me out of this mental rut, let me look at the world from a different angle for a while, and improve my mood. Although when it comes to improving one's mood, nothing beats some crimson red pouring down my throat. Not to mention, these cigarettes taste the best with a full stomach. Let's go. Okay.
There's
So
only two options.
That's my table. There's no place like home, and I need a little piece, Big Beat Burger, here I come, but wait, who is this loon? That's the woman who was stalking Layla, and also killed Sophie. And this one, hide and seek for dummies. I'm being tailed. The last thing I need right now is a weirdo stalker following my every step. Did I take this investigation too far down the rabbit hole? That is Kaiser's, one of his goons.
I want to do that one! Kaiser's fun!
Go for it.
Should I do this? Cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are better ways of finding solitude than wandering aimlessly in the endless downpour. There are nights when I dive straight into a thizzard cloud and vicariously enjoy their sweat, their hypnotic moves, and mindless self-indulgence. When my body starts to resonate with the relentless wall of sound, everyone disappears, and I'm raptured into a perfect kind of isolation. Then there are those nights when I crash onto the couch while Dakota goes on a rant about something so far removed from my area of interest, I zone out and enjoy the privacy of my own thoughts. But then there are moments like this one. Nights when I just want everyone to shut the fuck up so I can think. Those nights, I usually end up mindlessly strolling along the rain-swept streets before inevitably ending up at Big Beat Burger. Or at least that used to be the norm, before this whole mess. Lately, even that kind of solitude seems out of my reach, especially when I'm being tailed by a poor man's Ethan Hunt on a crash diet. He's been following me for 10 minutes, and so far, he has managed to bump into an empty newsstand, make enemies out of several cab drivers, and even got a bitch slapped by a living statue while trying to blend in. That's hilarious. Yeah. Sigh. As he shortens the distance, I grab a nearby lamppost and swing myself around like Gene Kelly, using the momentum to quickly turn around and look right at him.
Well, nah.
He springs into the nearest alley. I wonder if he thinks that somehow I did not notice. Make sure he knows you noticed. Yeah. It's fun. Hey, do me a favor, will you, asshole? Stop creeping on me. I'm about to walk away when an obnoxious voice, not belonging to the creep, catches my ear. It's coming from the same alleyway. It's followed by a loud crash from sounds like metal... Sorry. It's followed by a loud crash from sounds like the metal of the side of a garbage dumpster, followed by a painful moan. Maybe the stalker himself got himself in trouble? Who's grab? Oh no. Nope. Nope. Not my problem. I wanted to have fun. I'm not going to some stingy alley. Well, karma's a bitch. I decide to leave my stalker to taste some street justice. The rain begins to letting up as I walk away, leaving nothing to mask the increasingly agonizing grunts from the alley. But I just keep walking. It's time to get back to work. I step inside the subway and head for my meeting with Qadir. Oh, for fuck's sake. I thought you were kidding.
Nope, I couldn't reach her, but I know for a fact Hope is there.
One sec, I have to sneeze.
Hachoo!
Pikachu! Okay, I'm back. He's pointing in the direction of the double spiral building. Of a double spiral building. Oops. And what is she doing here? What is she doing there?
I understand she's the current leader of the company, acting CEO, to be exact.
Because she dealberized the previous one. Haha. Yep. No. You're pulling my leg. Of all the places in the city, the company that brags about creating IT solutions for the future, always surrounded by rumors of monstrous workers' abuse and all sorts of ethical violations, trading information with governments, and ending the career of a certain promising journalist and professional fuck-up who attempted to investigate them seriously.
You might be able to ask her both professional and personal questions. 2 birds with 1 stone.
I don't get it. Last time I checked, the company belonged to Kara Montgomery.
I'm told she quietly took a sabbatical a few months ago, and it sure looks like the kind of sabbatical you don't come back from.
Final death? Final death?
Very possible, but I have no idea.
I remember I was shocked when I first learned that one of my nemesis back in my old life was a vampire all along. When I realized her position made her untouchable to me, I was beyond mad. Well, whatever happened, it couldn't happen to a nicer person. What about her brother, Jesse?
You're asking me? Last I checked, you were the expert on this company. I just handled the basic intel for you, even though I shouldn't even really be here.
Yeah, and I hope you realize I'm grateful.
You'd better be.
So, is Hope just another corporate shark?
Well, she is the child of Carter.
A theatrical pause. He smiles as he sees me wince.
But very much unlike him. He took her in for her particular multifaceted talents related to the internet, knowing he's hopelessly behind the times in that regard. I hear she's been unruly, though.
Well, unruly is good. I can work with unruly. So you're telling me she might not be a stuck-up startup bitch?
Language. As I've told you a few times now, when it comes to the internet, just assume I haven't the slightest idea.
I'm getting there myself, and I haven't been able to check my email for 5 months. I have no idea what the kids at BBB are talking about most of the time. Oh my god, I might be getting old.
Don't worry. The moment you realize you don't give a damn about most fads you would have cared about years ago is a liberating one. Been there, done that. At the beginning of the 20th century.
Damn, he's old. Old.
Anyway, you'll probably hear Hope's story straight from the horse's mouth. I don't have much time, so I'll get straight to the point. You shouldn't be looking at anything in the main building. It's just a front. Ignore it. What you want to do is use the elevators to get to the lowest floor of the building.
Shh. I heard stories about the double spiral basement, but I had no idea what to make of them. Every source told me a different rumor.
Did any of them tell you a rumor about an army of underground ghouls?
No, but I'm all ears.
Double spiral
is that
employees.
What they were?
Those are all ghouls.
Oh shit! I didn't realize they were all. I knew they were like all robotic-ish, but I didn't realize they were actually like
they're ghouls.
Straight up ghouls.
Yep.
Damn.
They're basically starved of blood and told to do their work.
Just work. Okay.
Double Spiral employs an army of ghouls as a cheap workforce. They work and live underground, away from prying eyes, with lesser rights than regular kin employees. Perfect for a business.
Yeah. Wow. I'm actually speechless for a second. I had profoundly low expectations of that company, But every time I learn something new about what's going on behind the scenes, I'm still surprised at the level of scumbaggery at play.
I'll leave the moral judgments to you, expert. In any case, you need to reach room number 507, where the CEO supposedly resides.
And then?
Get Hope to answer your questions.
His old-timey flip phone vibrates.
Speaking of, if you've got any left for me, it's now or never. I'm needed at the art hole, now.
Normally. What's the security? How's the security?
Yes, good question. As far as I know, it's cameras, body heat sensors, and some electronic locks.
Sounds like with some luck, I might manage to infiltrate the building as nothing but a glitch in the system.
A glitch might still provoke an investigation, so be careful. It is rare that our curses turn into blessings. When it seems they have, it's usually a trap.
I will keep that in mind.
And keep your eyes peeled for the ghouls.
The phone vibrates again.
Well, that's it for me. Arturo is pestering me to show up at the Elysium 5 minutes ago.
Tell him I kindly suggest he should go fuck himself.
Not in 1,000 years. Well, good luck with your mission, soldier.
With a mock salute, he disappears inside his car and drives away. Nothing left for me but to head in. Shit, I'm anxious.
Still.
Oh, still, I'm anxious. I read that wrong. I saw 4 letters and it started with the word S, so I thought shit immediately. There are 2 approaches to choose from, and whichever I pick, I'll have to stick with. If I force my way in and assert my authority, bad cop style, that should make an impression. Bad bitch coming in and with the entire court behind her back, bluffing her way to victory. Sneaking in, politely asking for cooperation seems like the less disruptive, more me option, but not like being me has taken me anywhere thus far. Shit. See? That's shit. See? I immediately knew that was gonna be shit because it's a 4-letter word starting with S. Anyways.
I think your mind jumps to the word before actually reading it with your eyes sometimes, which is why you miss things.
Yes. My brain goes at like 1,000 miles per second sometimes. I literally need like 4 different methods of stimuli to be able to enjoy my time.
That's why I'm saying slowly kind of take your time, slow down a bit.
I'm trying.
You're trying.
Okay. Shit. Kind of wish I was still stuck in my routine where I don't need to be doing things like developing a personality. It's a bit of a coin flip, honestly, but I gotta make a choice here. How do I approach Double Spiral? Better to stay covert. Let's do that. Being aggressive is not me. I don't even want to think about the headaches I'd have to deal with.
You got another trait, not into bad cop shtick.
Cool. What does that mean?
You're not aggressive. You like to take things nicely.
Cool. I don't want to be passive, but yeah.
You're kind of passive.
Aw. Okay. The less disruptive I am, the better the chance they won't get pissed off at me. I do need Hope to be cooperative. This good cop approach should pay off eventually. Alright, let's do this.
I'll take over here.
Mm-hmm.
I cloak myself in shadows and let my instinct take over. The lobby isn't well lit, so it's not hard to get behind the lone security guard. He does notice something is wrong with the security cameras, and hits the display a few times. But once he's done, I'm already inside an emergency staircase and making the descent. The doors to the deepest floor are locked, but it takes just a bit of brute force, and I'm inside. Hello, Double Spiral. Thought you wouldn't see me again, huh? Assholes. I look around and find an emergency evacuation map. Bullseye. Looks like all the information I need is here. There it is. Room 507.
Hope looks so cool. Oh my god, I love her new look. I love her new look so much.
Someone comes around. Looks like one of Hope's nerdy ghouls is here to sniff around.
Oh,
but I'm already in the shadows. I wanted to say something, but I was like, nope, I'll let her find out.
Shit. I thought it was Hope. Oh, Roshak said, "Oh, you've been doing this for an hour and a half." Yes,
yep, he just joined.
And we're gonna keep going for a bit longer.
Yep.
Because our last stream was pretty short.
We kind of cut it short.
We do want to make sure that you guys have enough. Well, not necessarily just that. It's also have enough binge material for our viewers.
Yep. I slink away as she starts patrolling the corridor, checking if everything is okay. Cameras, body heat sensors, electronic locks. Still, I'm managing. I remain cautious just like Qadir would want me to, but it's surprisingly easy for me to avoid security. Progressing toward room 507 is far easier than expected.
These are all ghouls? Who do they feed? There's so many of them.
What do you mean, who do they feed?
Like, how many vampires are in this company that they need all these ghouls?
One vampire could create multiple ghouls.
Yeah, but I mean, like, so like, if there's like rooms upon rooms of just mindless zombie,
you just have to give them a little bit. You just have to give them a little bit of blood. Like, you don't have to give them a whole pint or something.
What I meant to say was, if all these people are ghouls and basically they're milking them literally for their blood, then all that blood, where does it go?
No. Ghouls are not you're thinking of blood dolls. Blood dolls are milked for their blood. Ghouls, a ghoul is when a vampire feeds a human a little bit of the vampire's own blood. And that
to do what?
To bound that human to them. Anytime someone drinks a vampire's blood, they become blood bound to that person. If a vampire drinks another vampire's blood, like you saw in Coteries of New York, Panhard drinks Arturo's blood, Callahan drinks Panhard's blood. They're all blood bound to each other.
It's all a shit show, yeah.
Yeah. So so a blood doll is a person who a vampire drinks from frequently. Their whole purpose is to just be a soda, a walking, living soda, a blood soda, like vending, or blood fountain, basically.
A blood fountain.
And a ghoul is where a vampire, like, remember Gregory, Sophie's driver?
Yeah.
So what Sophie did was Sophie took her own blood, fed it to Gregory, and Gregory becomes a ghoul. He's now bound to Sophie, and he has to kind of magically, mystically bound to her. He's going to follow her orders. He can't resist her, etc.
It's essentially mind control.
Not complete mind control, but like a sort of... Depends on how much blood they've drunk. The more a person drinks vampire blood, the more blood-bound they become. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all of these people, they've all been fed vampire blood, and they're all ghouls.
So they're basically
like Rorschach said, like Rorschach just said, it's a devotion. You feel this devotion to.
Basically, all of these people have been given a few drops of this random vampire's blood, and now they're
formerly it was Cara Montgomery. So yeah, they all got drops of Cara Montgomery's. Well, perhaps Hope has made them ghouls, but exactly.
And now, basically, like, after they got that blood, they've decided to give up their human rights to work in an underground, dingy.
They haven't chosen location. To. They have been forced to.
They've been obligated to. Like they feel. And if a ghoul devotion.
And once you become a ghoul, you have to drink. You have a need to feed off the blood as well. Sometimes not as strongly as the vampires, but you feel that need. And the longer it goes on, you get this like withdrawal kind of. Not you don't go into a frenzy like a vampire, but you feel this withdrawal, kind of like not taking drugs after you've been addicted for a while. That's the way I see it.
Okay.
I reached the double spiral offices where, just like Qadir said, hordes of ghouls are slaving away for their company. Deep learning, spyware, social media manipulation, yada yada. Rorschach said this is a bit harsh even for a ghoul. Rorschach, it's a company. It's a corporate multi-billion-dollar tech company.
It's a corporate.
It's a corpo.
They're literally all corporate. What's the word? Like
slaves,
dolls,
drones,
slaves. Yeah, that's the word. They're all corporate slaves. Literally corporate slaves. So when people start like talking about that on Twitter, just be like, at least they're not working at Double Spiral. Haha.
Subtle.
And they'll go like, what's
reference
Double Spiral?
that nobody.
You go, like, well, you suck. Yeah. Basically.
Rorschach also said, I would guess some domination's also being used. Yeah, that's also likely. Some domination, some the weaker a mind is...
Persuasion.
No, domination. That's a discipline.
Yeah,
a vampire
I know,
discipline.
but I get that. But I mean, it's a form of persuasion, even though it's
I wouldn't
technically
use
just
the
telling
word.
them.
I wouldn't use the word persuasion because in VTM, persuasion is an actual, like a skill.
I didn't know that.
It's a skill. Like you have persuasion, intimidation, just like in D&D. That is an actual skill. Domination is an actual power, a mind control.
Oh, I see. Oh, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I wouldn't use the word persuasion because like it means something else completely in VTM tabletop lore. The important thing right now is everyone is staring at their own screen, so it's easy for me to keep sneaking. Burchak also said, ghouls are known for being hard to control in the long term. Yeah, so these people, they've probably been fed blood, and there's also like tons of dominate, a bunch of stuff being used all at once to make them complete drones.
Complacent. Yeah.
Aside from the fact that she still seems to be on my trail, only slowed by the fact that she's thorough in her search, I'd better pick up the pace. And there it is, the final corridor. Time to announce myself. I slowly walk to the end of the corridor. There it is, room 507. The door looks harder to take care of than the other ones in this place. Probably won't be able to take care of it the same way I did the others. The door to the office of the current Double Spiral CEO. This fucking company. I get pissed off, but I'm trying to control it. There's a camera by the door. If she knows what to look for, she can probably see I'm here on her screen. But just to make sure, I knock on the door.
Hope, I'm a Camarilla detective, and I will need you to answer some questions.
Camarilla detective.
Hope, I know you're in there. Open the door. I will not leave until you do. I'm here on behalf of the Sheriff of New York City. Hope?
I keep pounding on the door and calling her name. After a minute or so, a voice rings out in the intercom.
How was your voice again?
I imagine her as
Valley
like a
girl?
punk, casual Valley girl Instagram model.
Is
type
this thing on? I guess it is.
There you go.
Alright. I got your message loud and clear. I'll meet you in the offices. I'll be right there. Looks like you made it past poor Natsuya. Get back to Nastia. Oops. It looks like you made it past poor Natsuya. Get back to the offices and keep her company. She's probably beyond pissed off about you eluding her grasp, but don't make it a big deal, okay? Thank you for your cooperation. I'll be right there. What's up? She looks so cool. I love her new look.
On the one hand, yeah, because like she's not like just a.
She's more Kara and like
more CEO.
She's half Hope, half Kara.
Yep. On the one hand, clothes you could reasonably expect to find in any CEO's wardrobe. On the other, a body covered in tattoos, flashy jewelry, dyed hair, and wild makeup. The thought that she might be yet another CEO playing the non-conformist crosses my mind, but she strikes me as someone who's more than happy to live in her own little bubble. Still, I won't be fooled. She is the boss of Double Spiral.
So, how did you find me? Sheriff Qadir al-Assami did. You have to check with him.
Asmai.
I keep saying Assami, whoops. Sheriff Qadir al-Assami did. Asmai did. I'm so sorry. Sheriff Qadir al-Asmai did. You'd have to ask him. Gosh.
I take out a new cigarette without thinking.
You can't smoke in here, lady.
I imagine like a Harley Quinn-ish voice for this girl. One, because she kind of looks like... Can't smoke in here, lady.
Can't smoke in here, lady. Just let her. Don't treat me like I'm your enemy. I come in peace.
A deep, relaxing drag.
So, when did you realize I was here? Right from the start, there was a momentary laser malfunction, lasted a second or two, hasn't tripped an alarm. I guess something was off. But I guess something was off. That's it. Hunches have gotten me every job I've ever had. Hunches saved my life anytime I got into a messy situation. These days, the reality is too complicated to rely on anything else. Can't find a better head of security than our Nastya, and her hunches are the main reason why. They're like a sixth sense. Corporate rebel. What's the sixth sense? What's that sixth sense? I'm curious about that sixth sense. Is that a ghoul thing? Nah. No, wait. How do you... Fudge. I need to do a different voice from her because her voice sounds way too similar to Hope's voice, in my opinion.
Nah, it's that spy-like thing that borders on second sight. It's kind of how I imagine it.
Yeah, but she also has like a Valley Girl voice then.
Hope, hers, yes, but I imagine Hope's is like more kind of cold. Hers is like a bit more warm-ish. More, naive.
That spy-like thing that borders on the second sight. James Bond spotting a hidden knife in someone's shoe. Jack Bauer. Jack Bauer.
Yeah.
Jack Bauer suddenly realizing you hate America. That kind of thing. And where did you train that second sight?
Nastya shrugs.
It's just like making good music, lady. 50% hard work, 50% psychedelics. Oh, I'll take your word for it. Lovely chat. How was your voice again? Lovely chat, girls. But I'd love it if you saved it for later.
So think of pitch. Hope's is more low-pitched. Nastya is more high-pitched.
Cool. Lovely. I'm CEO now. I have a lot of duties I must pretend to handle. I just need to ask you a few questions. Sure, yeah. Call me if you need me. I've got a weird hunch about this one too. Don't worry, I'll disappear as quietly as I arrived. Yeah, I'd prefer to be sure that you left, lady, so that I can report it to my boss. We'll take you to security later. Don't worry, this shit happens.
We'll talk.
We'll talk to security later. Don't worry, this shit happens. For now, take 5.
Nastya leaves, and I'm left alone with Hope in the corner of the office.
Feels funny to stand here in front of you. Oh, and why is that? You people had me fired from my job before I was embraced. Ah, I see. You're that Swansky girl from Lodestar? Yeah. Somehow I never put two and two together. So you're the La Sombra rep for the city now, huh?
As she's talking to me, she keeps tapping at her phone with terrifying speed. I don't feel like I have her full focus, and it's getting on my nerves.
Just so you know, I have no idea why you've taken Cara Montgomery's place, and I doubt you'd tell me, but the bitch deserves to burn in hell. Yeah, hell yeah, she does. Wait, did you just admit... Hold your horses. No, Jesus. This is why normal CEOs pay for PR people to talk for them. I only agreed that she's a horrible person in every way that counts, nothing more. Does she know that that's what you think of her? Why did she let you take her position in the first place? What? I will just cut through the bullshit, okay, Miss Lodestar? I guess this is about Jesse and Kara covering his creepy ass. You spent months on this case, and you'd like some closure. Pretty much. Well, here's your closure. Double Spiral has severed practically all ties with them. They don't work here. They got no company money. They probably won't ever show up here again. The company's not their circus anymore, and the workers are not their monkeys. I'm in charge now. So yeah, if there's anything you'd like from me, I'm all ears. It wasn't just Jesse and his sister. This company has ingrained structures of abuse and immoral. I've ordered internal investigations and audits. Everyone related to this illicit activities was disciplined. Legal actions, firings, and rebukes, all depending on the severity of their misdemeanors. I don't have a stomach for all that creepy corporate shit. I'm just trying to steer the ship in the right direction. Don't know what else I can tell you.
For fuck's sake.
For fuck's sake.
No matter how I look at it, seems like she's done everything I hoped to achieve. The Montgomery clan is over. The queen bitch, the symbol of everything that's wrong with tech CEOs, is gone. Jesse, that perverted embezzling son of a bitch, is gone. I should be glad, so... Why is there a sinking pit in my stomach?
So that's capitalism, huh? I just said it. Is it? I think it's something worse. When I look at the online world, I don't see capital ruling us. I see only incomprehensible vectors, unknown entities constantly opening and closing various markets of information. There's something worse than what familiar 20th century terminology taught us. I don't know what it is, but it's terrifying, and it will continue until we give it a name. But you look like you need emotional support, not my depressing philosophizing. Well, shit sucks, and I'm sorry.
The biggest case in my professional life, solved by some weirdo who fucked Kara and Jesse over in presumably underhanded ways. It doesn't get more anticlimactic than this. Fucking hell. I want to ask her how she did it, but why would she tell me? All I can guess is she's an outcast who decided to get her hands dirty and obtain power to do something she considered good. Something I've always been afraid to do.
Anyway, I feel... and I have to do, so if this wasn't just a trip down memory lane and you have any other questions, speak now or forever hold your peace, okay?
I feel like a car just ran me over, but I need to keep my shit together.
Right. A few days ago, the Anarch Baron was found dead in his office. Are you familiar with the case? Douglas Callahan? Of course I'm familiar. Every kindred online is talking about it. And what are they saying? They're accusing everyone, and I mean, it's the internet. Are they accusing you? Why would they do that? I found a peculiar note in Callahan's remains. It had your name on it. Huh? What can you say about this? Nothing. I've never met the guy. I've never seen him. He wasn't my crowd. Then why would he have a note with your name in his pocket? Why were Walt Disney's last words written? Kurt Russell. No clue.
I watch her closely, but nothing suggests she's hiding anything.
Well, the note actually contained 3 other names and nothing else. Anton, D'Angelo, Tamika.
Agathon.
This is why he hates me. Agathon, D'Angelo, Tamika. Ring any bells? Ring any bells now?
Her finger, which hasn't stopped moving across the phone touchscreen since I first saw her, freezes.
Yeah, it kind of does, actually. It's a short list of promising unaffiliated kindred that was making the rounds in an NYC a few months ago, in case anyone needed a hero for hire. I didn't know Callahan had it. I know Sophie Langley did, as well as a few Primogen. Not sure about the Anarchs. Who could have prepared this list? One of the local information brokers.
A short but telling pause.
Anonymous. How anonymous? Sort of anonymous.
She's obviously conflicted about whether she should tell me. Or maybe she's pretending so that I worm it out of her. I've been a good sport ever since I walked through her door. Maybe appealing to her sense of morality will work.
I really need your help. I want to prevent the tensions between the local anarchs and the court from escalating, and every lead helps.
She briefly considers her options, then gives up.
It's my sire, Carter van der Weyden.
Oh.
He's brokering information. Everyone knows becoming the Prince of New York is his ultimate goal, and that he wants to make friends in all the high places. Sharing useful intel is a pretty effective way to achieve that. So you're telling me that a Malkavian Primogen sold this list to an Anarch Baron? Sure looks like it. Why would he suggest his own child to somebody? To have a person on the inside, just another way to further his information web. Wouldn't they realize you two are close? The story going around is he left me alone and I hate his guts. Well, at least half of that is true.
She's talkative. Probably sees me as a way to undermine Carter. Let's see how much further I can push her.
Huh. I was wondering how someone like you could control a company like Devil Spiral. I suppose a friend in high places would explain it. Yeah, lucky me. Not happy about being a boss? Not happy about being a girl boss, leading one of the biggest IT companies in the country? A boss, huh?
He stares at dozens of displays on the wall in front of her.
Do you remember the Y2K era internet? Jesus, I barely remember the internet at all. My people really can't use it. Yeah, I guess I sort of remember forums, GeoCities, browser wars, all those handmade amateurish web pages. It was a golden age. Everyone was welcome to freely express their creativity and obsessions in this abstract new frontier. No formulated rules, every site was a distinct new universe to explore. You know, as a kid, for some reason I kept saving every webpage that moved or changed me in some way. I don't even know why I did it, but today a folder of these is one of my greatest treasures. Fast forward to today, I'm the boss of a company that has one overarching goal. Steer the online narrative in every possible way that benefits the Camarilla. And because the online world is so fucked right now, I can do it using only 5 websites or so. Every day, I deploy thousands of believable sock puppets to force some belief on the masses. Right now, they are being managed by these ghouls. Soon, they will be partially managed by AI. Basically, an all-American version of the Chinese 50-cent party, a new platform for public opinion guidance. Ever since I was a teen, I've pretended to be different. I've pretended to be different people online for fun. Aping the posting patterns of others, apping the posting patterns of others was something I turned out to be horrifyingly good at.
I feel like it's aping, but I'm not sure.
Whatever. I became even better at it after the embrace. Something about the voice of Malkav in my head. After several years, I became a one-person internet empire. I could impersonate anyone.
At I dream of tulips.
a humble florist from Chattanooga who strives to share the positive energy with their audience using photos of beautiful bouquets, motivational quotes, and the occasional The Office gif.
At Vulva Hufflepuff.
A single mom from Brighton who reckons all these trans...
Is it Brighton or Brighton?
Brighton, sorry. A single mom from Brighton who reckons all these trans women must be bonkers and spends seemingly every waking moment of her life having a row with anyone who disagrees.
At Polygon Classicist.
A 19-year-old from Utah. A 19-year-old from Utah who keeps posting Y2K 3D renders of purely proportioned, scantily clad ladies and telling his poorly proportioned, scantily clad ladies and telling his audience to remember what they took from you. Also, by the way, this kind of reminds me of, have you ever seen that one YouTube video where this one person used Photoshop to make a pizza slice look like a person, like a very sexy lady?
Yep.
That's what it reminds me of.
That's kind of what it's referencing.
Poorly proportioned. Yeah. Somehow this talent got me here, where it's no longer fun but work. I usually entrust to these ghouls because of all my duties. I want out before my entire fucking mind gets monetized. But Carter won't have that, so I'll keep doing my best for both him and Double Spiral's investors.
So that's why she wants me to look at him.
I assume most of your operations focus on New York City? A lot of them, yeah. How do you imitate a New Yorker voice with these sock puppet accounts? Living in Manhattan and being mentally unstable makes this shit easy. To a normal, well-adjusted person from outside the city, everyone here seems mentally unstable. Ever watch 9/11 Howard Stern show? That 9/11 Howard Stern show? No. Check it out someday. It's educational. Ask anyone in NYC about it and they're like, it was a great bonding moment. He was helping us make sense of everything. He kept saying what we were all thinking. Then you listen to it and everyone's yelling and we need to nuke something. Maybe the entire world. Get rid of all the Muslims. Fuck human rights. No investigations. Take their oil. Cheery. You watch it, you study it, you witness a specific brand of humor in the face of tragedy, and you understand that nothing outside of NYC really exists for people who live here, or the vampires. A foundational text, really. Whenever I need to get in that New Yorker mindset for work, I let it play in the background. Works like a charm. Seriously, give it a shot sometime.
And that is an actual thing, I believe.
Someday I might. For now, I think I will confront Van der Weyden with what you've told me. Or is it what you haven't told me? It's a story. Me? Of course I haven't told you anything. You're such a good investigator, you figured it out by yourself. And if he asks, just tell him Kaiser stole his info. That should do the trick. I see. Thank you. What for? I did nothing. Let Natsia show you out. And if you don't know Van der Weyden's address, just ask her. Thank you for having me, Mr. Van der Weyden.
No need. I'll be happy to assist your investigation in whatever way I can, Miss Sawinski.
That sickeningly sweet smile, and this office, spacious but oppressive. Here's a man who knows how to subtly unnerve people. But does he even realize it?
And I'm sure the presence of the esteemed Addison Payne will guarantee I'm totally transparent. Am I right, Addison?
Looks like I've interrupted a friendly meeting. In the far corner of the room, I spot a glass of blood or two, and 2 spittoons. Vices and follies for the rich. Of the rich. Are you sure I'm not wasting your time?
Not at all. Busy as I might be, I can't say I'm not curious about the findings in the case. Yes, my thoughts exactly. So, how are you handling your newfound responsibilities?
I'm managing. I'll start by asking the obvious. Where were you the night of Douglas Callahan met his untimely demise? Vanderwiden raises an eyebrow, and then lets out a restrained chuckle.
Hear that, Addison? I might be suspected of foul play. Exciting, isn't it? Carter, no antics, please. Just answer the question. Of course. Well, I was right here. Just like I told Prince Panhard, as much as I love to celebrate my power, sometimes one has to celebrate the amount of work piling up on their desk.
So your alibi is you were right here?
Alibi! Yes, I suppose.
Can anyone back up your story?
Well, I did make a few business-related phone calls as I was working, so there's that.
That doesn't really answer my question, does it? He regards me with a stare reserved for a troublesome child.
Miss Sawinski, this right here is my private little fortress, a space specifically designed to make me focus. I don't really let people in to break that focus. Aside from occasional esteemed guests such as yourselves, of course, and a few wonderful Mexican women responsible for the cleaning duties.
You don't have an alibi? The look in his eyes screams, "Why won't you at least pretend to try and get on board with my program, kid?"
I suppose, but why would that matter?
Because I found something that belongs to you on the victim's person.
Pardon me? Took the words right out of my mouth. We're not talking a murder weapon or something of that caliber, of course.
No, it was a short list of 4 names, unaffiliated kindred whose services could be useful to anyone interested in toppling the current power balance in NYC. Tamika, Hope, D'Angelo, Agathon. Anthony.
Excuse me, Miss Sawinski, but I'm afraid I don't follow. How is that something that belongs to me?
I have it on good authority that it's a short list you've been shopping around to anyone interested here in NYC, be it Camarilla or the Anarchs. Addison tenses up. His host is not happy about it.
This is just preposterous. I'm calling your bluff right here, miss.
Nope, the bluff is coming right out. It's coming right now. Mr. Vanderwiden, if you want to voice concerns about the information I have, how about you give voice to them how about you voice them? How about you voice them to Kaiser, not me? Addison turns to Vanderwiden, clenching his lips and gripping his wheelchair armrest tightly. For a brief moment, the ever-present smile on Vanderwiden's face goes missing, and the expression that replaces it reminds me of a horrifying void. Like a sneak peek into what's really going on in his soul. He quickly recollects himself, He quickly collects himself, but the image is burned into my retinas.
To think these sorts of unsavory rumors are circulating around me, I should be grateful you let me know.
So you're denying it?
Of course I'm denying it. Categorically, you can bet your life savings on it. I certainly hope it is nothing more than an unfortunate blunder. Et tu, Brute? Come on, Addison, we've known each other for years. Yes, and what about it? I will... Sweet Jesus, Addison, I will get back to you in a second. Any more questions, Miss Sawinski?
Any sound familiar to you?
No, I mean, yes, that is my long estranged child on your list, but that's just another reason why I'm flabbergasted anyone would consider it mine.
I see. Well, I hope you understand why I'm considering you a prime suspect now.
Yes, and I swear to clear my name as soon as possible. Scout's honor. Any more questions?
I'm good for now. Sheriff Al-Smai will probably contact you later. See, I got his name right this time.
Nice. I will get in touch with him myself ASAP. Once again, thank you for your work.
He extends his hand toward me, practically forcing me to shake it. Then he puts his hand on my shoulder to lead me to the door. All too eager to see me off. Out of sheer curiosity, Mr. Van der Weyden, I have one more question. It may be random. Maybe a bit random. I really didn't need to ask it, but I wanted him to die inside for a moment.
Of course, my dear.
He slightly raised his slightly strained tone suggests I may have succeeded. You seem like a person who couldn't live outside of NYC. By chance, have you listened to Howard Stern's talk show about the after the World Trade Center fell? A tad unsure, but once again, a carefully controlled chuckle escapes his mouth.
Geez, that is random, but, well... New York, born and raised, just like you said. Of course I did.
Your opinion?
Same as everyone else, it was the spiritual guidance we needed that day, coming from the unlikeliest of places. A visceral response that verbalized everything we felt. Beautiful moment of unity. Not that I'm into lowbrow jokes about Pamela Anderson and the typical shock value the show tended to offer, but as far as I'm concerned, Howard did an indispensable thing that day. Why are you asking?
No particular reason. I thought I might give some insight into the kind of person you are.
Well, that's the kind of person I am. Just your average New Yorker.
So it seems. Well then, I'll leave you and Mr. Payne to your plans for conquering the city.
Conquering the... Now that's spicy. Addison, I love this girl. She's gonna go far, I'm telling you. She's got that spunk, that glint in her eye. Goodbye, Miss Swinsky. I wish you a pleasant respite and a swift success in your investigation.
Good night. I make it a point to bow to Addison's servant, not the man himself. Doubt he even noticed, but at least these invisible displays of rebellion make me feel a little bit better about myself. Alright, the faster I leave, the better.
Julia.
Father.
How are you holding up?
I'm fine, stumbling around and hoping for a miracle to happen, like always.
No better place to ask for a miracle than behind these gates, you know?
So I hear. As I pass him the report about Eiling and Agathon, I look around, but Benoit is nowhere to be seen. Where's Benoit? So, where's that clown?
You mean Benoit?
You're the one who said it, not me.
In another parish, taking care of a personal issue for me. Thought you might appreciate that.
God, I really do.
Listen, can't you think of something to placate him?
Placate him? How exactly? Benoit won't accept anything less than me joining a covenant.
I think it's convent.
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 Shit. Same thing. He just wants her to be more spiritual.
Not quite.
Alright, convent.
He's like a worried parent. A basic gesture here and there, showing up in church from time to time, and pretending to listen would get him off your case.
I mean, I've been through this song and dance before, with my own worried parents when I was a teenager. Wandering in the forest until the mass was over, not even being able to smoke because they'd pick up the scent. Not the best moments of my life, you know? And a part of the reason I'm distancing myself from them. I don't need this fake energy in my life, and I'm honestly weirded out by you asking me to lie.
I'm not asking you to lie, Julia. Let me ask you this way. Are you a spiritual person?
I guess I am, kind of. Always. Suddenly being able to see ghosts that did not change a thing.
So Rorschach said, Benoit was my favorite in the original Coteries. He was an interesting character, I just didn't like
He was
his
so
wacky
annoying!
ending. Yeah, you
I
find
don't
it,
know.
you just found him annoying because you're a child, you impatient child, can't appreciate wisdom.
How dare! Just because you're playing Father doesn't mean you get to treat me like a child.
Kind of are a child since I'm Father and you're Julia.
Wow. I think it's mostly because seeing the world as purely material seemed boring to me somehow.
You are, and you were raised Catholic. So can't you find a way to express that spirituality in our church?
I don't see a way right.
And why is that?
I sigh. Too many people who think my soul needs to be saved because I live with a woman, for starters. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons. Let the sin of drinking blood every other night or feeling some primal fear whenever I walk by a clergyman whose faith seems to actually be genuine.
That one sounds like an excuse. It's about your relationship with God, not other people.
In theory, back in the old country, I've heard my share of homilies that felt like complete condemnations of my kind, and none that would condemn hate toward people like me. And when church adjacent people try to stir shit around your very existence every few months, some minimal support would be appreciated. Sorry, all you can count on is silent complicity.
I get it. I know there's a lot of work to be done, and a lot of undeserved hurt going around, but...
Listen, I don't even want to talk about it. I fucking hate the tone I use when I talk about it. You sound preachier than those preachers.
I sound
preachier than those preachers, and my biggest dream is just not to give a shit. But I remember things, like this story about a guy from my hometown, most macho guy around, with a jaw you could sharpen a knife on. He became an actor in Warsaw. Very successful, deservedly so. The capital might not be NYC, but it's still a big city, and big cities go to the heads of bumpkins like us. In his case, it resulted in a dream of coming out to his parents. He was surrounded by all these stories of openly queer people, played one even, and so he thought he had a chance of making it work. So he goes back to his town, tells everyone he's going to live his truth. His dad, a ruling party adjacent businessman, curses him. His uncle takes him into the bushes and starts to destroy him physically. It gets so bad he gets put in the ICU. His face and his jaw get ruined for good. Fast forward a year or two, with his career over, the guy is stuck at his parents' rustic house with no other path to follow. He turns to God, who tells him to forgive his kin. Everything is fine again. Angelic choirs sing of divine mercy. A kind-looking priest talks about protecting our families. A man sits in the front row of the church, a disfigured smile on his face. But that story alone didn't drive me away. One time, when I saw how blissful he was, I could swear he was actually able to hear God whispering to him. He looked like a saint. It fucked me up so bad I left. I felt nauseated now. Maybe I'm still reeling from hearing about Kara and Jesse Montgomery. Now, if we could ever talk about it again, we could never talk about it again, that would be great. I know that I tend to sound like a loser who loves to pontificate about shit I can't change, but I at least keep trying to change myself. Damn it.
I won't offer empty platitudes, but I think I understand what I was meant to understand. I hope I haven't insulted you in any way.
Whatever. I learned not to hold people responsible for the rest of their organization is doing. It would be hard looking in the mirror otherwise. Not that there's much I could see in the mirror right now.
True.
True, La Sombra.
I'm just wondering about one thing. There is always a cross on your chest.
I like how it goes with my outfit.
Is it just a fashionable accessory to you?
Good night, Father. Have a good night, Father.
I find her sitting in bed, scrolling through Pinterest on her phone.
Oh, how are you doing, detective?
I fall on the bed, bury my face in the pillows, and scream. Bury my face in the pillows.
Sorry,
bury my face in the pillows. Bury my face in the pillows and scream.
Ah! That bad, huh?
I don't want to tell her about Double Spiral. I still have to figure out how I feel about it.
I'm just not cut out for this. Oh, shut up. If you aren't, who is? Sherlock Holmes, Hercule Poirot, Columbo,
French.
Mads Mikkelsen's boyfriend from Hannibal, whatever his name is. I don't know. Someone who can actually put 2 and 2 together. You can't fool me into believing you're incompetent, you dumbass. I've read your articles. Don't you pretend you suddenly forgot how to do your job. I haven't, but I've got no evidence, no witnesses, no promising leads, nothing. Just stumble around assuming things and talking big. Ugh. So you're like, I don't know, Jack Nicholson in Chinatown, and he actually solved his case. And then he wished he never took it up. Was that supposed to cheer me up? I'm just saying that the situation you're in sounds awful like Chinatown, depraved elites, big plans for the city, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and that's depressing. It is what it is. I just think you should approach it this way and look for a solution to your problems outside of the box. Not as a mystery, but maybe like a trap to escape.
So Rorschach said the reason he liked Benoit was because he found all the spiritual stuff fascinating. I agree. Like, in any fictional setting, whenever the writers really, like, it's clear they put thought into theology and spirituality and how in this fictional setting with magic or sci-fi, whatever, and the writers have given thought on how it, how this world coincides or how it coexists with modern religions, and they go into detail about that. I really like that. And what I liked is Benoit. The character is kind of wacky, like some of his viewpoints, but he did go into details about the history of vampires, the first vampire pain, the first city they lived in, the Great Flood, and all that history. And I like that. I like going to that deep ancient lore.
Maybe.
I throw myself on the bed again and lie there for a bit, staring at the ceiling. Then, I approach Dakota from behind and tug her sleeve to draw her attention.
Hey. Put the phone away. Now? Come on, Jules. We can't do this every night. I've got my own work. I need to worry about anemia. You said so yourself. Besides, I wasn't looking for inspiration.
I was just looking
for inspiration. I wasn't looking for inspiration. Oh my god.
I rub against her clothes with my face like a cat.
You're impossible. Haven't you noticed what's going on the news? People are going absolutely insane about this virus, canceling trips and orders, and... Pretty please... I can't, honey. I have to replenish my stash, and besides, I'm worried about overuse. My brain is working a bit too slow. My balance is off. I was just thinking how I miss meditation.
She's giving me clear signals she just wants an excuse. And even though it would be the responsible thing to do, I know she's insatiable. She's usually the one who takes the initiative. Let's try a final push. I bite her ear and whisper in it.
No drugs. Let's do this raw.
She throws her hands up in the air. Victory.
Jesus, you're greedy these days. Always have been. Haven't you noticed? Damn, they did the deed. Wow.
No.
Did I just do the deed with myself?
No. You fed off of her. So in the beginning, remember she said I took these drugs tonight. So when she takes those drugs, Julia feeds off of her, and Julia gets a taste of that drug. So she gets a taste of that high a little bit.
Oh no, I know exactly what's going on here. As in, like, she just fed off her dry.
Yeah,
I know they didn't. Chill. Do you not understand innuendos? Oh my gosh, some people.
See,
anyways,
I wasn't sure what you were going for here.
Hey, okay. Seriously, what do you take me for?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Okay, do you want to call it after we finish this interaction?
Sure.
For tonight? Cool. Oh, you're up early. Yeah, I told you. Got
Rorschach
work to do.
Rorschach says they might have not just drunk. It's up to... Yeah, I could see that as well. Yeah, I could honestly...
Interruption. I think you meant interpretation.
Yeah, I would say it's up to interpretation.
Yeah. Why not both?
I stretch.
That's admirable. Reminds me of that one quote you used to always throw around. A lot of people say you can't smoke dope and get drunk when you got kids, and that's not true. You can, but you gotta still get up in the morning. That's being responsible. That's the one. I never understood why it was so hilarious to you. Neither did I. I just accepted the mystery and made it my personal credo. I'm responsible. I'm a responsible person. Are you planning to have kids? Not in a million years. By the way, you've got mail.
An envelope by the door. It's from Qadir. Inside is a message saying he won't be able to make it tonight, but will rendezvous tomorrow to meet D'Angelo. He wants me to lay low until then, and stay in this apartment, if possible. Apparently, nobody knows where Tamika is. They only know she's in trouble, and he doesn't want me near it.
Oh wait, I didn't catch it. Well, what is it?
All of these are lies.
Are they?
He got the next lead to investigate? Well, that one's a bit of a truth.
Not exactly, yeah.
Qadir needs me? No, he doesn't. He told you stay in the apartment. Yeah. That one's a straight up lie. And the third one, you just don't tell her anything. You just kind of bullshit something.
Got a next lead to investigate. Let's go with that. It looks like I need to hit the town. Next lead. Probably useless, but the investigation continues. It would be fun to spend some more time together, you know? Dakota, you know this is important to me. I know, but I'd like to know how important I am to you as well.
That makes two of us.
Just a few more days. I'll find the killer, kick his ass, get a promotion. We'll do something we've never done before. Like what? Good question. I'll think of something. For now, catch up with your work. I need to get going. Fine. Good luck. Stay safe. You know it.
So stop here?
Alright. Yeah, I think we should, because it's like 3 a.m. for me.
Sure.
But thank you everyone for joining us for a really late night stream. As was mentioned before by Revan, we will be doing very sporadic streams, and hopefully we'll try and do more that are earlier in the day. Like we did our experiment today, remember, with the earlier timing, and we saw that there was like I think 11 consistent watchers. Yeah, we got a lot of consistent watchers, and that was great. So we're gonna try and hit that prime time spot, but sometimes we might do like, you know, some of late
something
stuff
late
like
night
this. Sometimes, yeah, depends. I also have like a daytime job, so we'll see how that goes. I might end up having to be like Dakota, where I just like basically work during the night-ish / day and sleep during the. I don't actually know when she sleeps because she's always awake. So
she doesn't.
Anyways,
sleep.
she does. That's the power of being a ghoul. You don't have to sleep. I'm kidding. But yeah, thank you guys again for joining us.
Yeah,
and
thank
until
you
next
everyone.
time.
Good night and good luck.